October 10th is the date. Jiu-Jitsu and grappling return to UFC Fight Pass for the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 8 and the main event. Something a little interesting. I had a feeling Nicky Rod would be the main event of the next UFC Fight Pass Invitational with the way he showed his skills at CJI, earning $1 million. But his opponent, interesting to say the least, Michael Pixley, purple belt, out of Daisy Fresh, Pedigo submission system. And that's the matchup. Nick Rodriguez, Michael Pixley, very, very interesting tussle to say the least. We've also got Canuto versus PJ Barch in the co-main event, I guess. And they've announced a few other matchups for this fight card. And as it says, tickets are on sale now. The ticket link is in the IG story on the UFC Fight Pass Instagram page. If we go through here, we've got a few matchups announced to play out through the card. Pedro Falcao against Christian Guzman. Johan Ostusen against Gabriel Almeida. That's an interesting one as well. Should be a fun matchup. I actually haven't seen Johan fight that much, and I'm interested to see this one because Gabriel Almeida is a monster. So this could be very interesting. And Pedro Falcao against Christian Guzman, 155-pound matchup. These two guys are like fireworks on the mats. I believe there were a couple more matches announced as well. Gabriel Souza against Josh Cisneros. That photo of Josh looks like it's from like a few years ago, but that could be a very lightning quick matchup as well. Another 155-pounder. As well as Cassia Mora against Cindy Ung. The females never quit and never show anything less than fireworks. I've said fireworks galore, but this one is going to be fun. As Michael Pixley says, I think that wrestlers are going to take over because they're a lot more hard-nosed than grapplers. Interesting to say the least. I mean, he's not holding anything back, and he's got the main event against Nicky Rod. We saw what he did at ADCC. I'll show you a little clip from that because he probably had one of the biggest upsets of that weekend. But we got a couple more matchups as well announced. Isaac Bahanis against Ronaldo Jr. Ronaldo is always tough when he comes to step on the mats. And Raquel Canuto against Gabby McComb. Raquel, UFC vet, MMA vet, and very good on the grappling scene as well. There are some fantastic matches for this Fight Pass Invitational. Nick Rodriguez, as I said in the main event, CJI winner. He is on a heck of a run. UFC Fight Pass Invitational 6, UFC Fight Pass Invitational 7, and then the back-to-back victories at CJI via rear naked choke on each and every opponent. The submission game was through the roof. I put out a video about his game going into CJI and how I feel like the team that came in to help him out, Joseph Chen and Dima, truly helped out Nick Rodriguez. And I think that we'll see something along those lines in the main event here at UFC Fight Pass Invitational 8. But could we see an upset? Michael Pixley proved that he was able to show an upset at ADCC, and he's got it pinned here. He took on Nicholas Mergali, and it was probably the biggest upset of that weekend. Pixley is as confident as they come. We've seen this guy If you keep up with the Daisy Fresh YouTube page, we've seen him come into the scene. He's just dominating guys on the feet. His wrestling, his judo game, he pushes the pace, he gets the takedowns, he works as hard as they can, and he really gets the job done. He's as confident as they come as well. And I think he knew going into that Nicholas Marigali match that he had nothing to lose and that he was going to be the one to upset the scene that weekend. You saw from his celebration, he looked like, this is mine. I knew what I was going to do. And guess what? He did. He got that judo toss, injured the shoulder of Marigali on the takedown, and got the Darce. His front headlock game is tremendous. His wrestling and judo, as I said, are tremendous. It's going to be an interesting match because Nicky Rod is definitely going to outweigh him in this match. And Nicky Rod has shown that his guard passing and his top game are through the roof. If he gets your back, he's going to rear naked choke you. But will we see that? Will Pixley let him get on top of him? Will he let him push him to the ground? Will he be able to take his back? Will Pixley be able to get the takedown on Nicky Rod? The questions need to be answered, and this is an interesting main event. This could push Michael Pixley's name to that next level. Yes, he beat Nicholas Marigali, who was expected to double gold at ADCC this year, and Nicholas Marigali went out with an injury. Will we see Michael Pixley take that next step against Nicky Rod? I don't know. You don't know? We'll find out on October 10th on UFC Fight Pass. It's the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 8. I went over some of the matches. This main event is very interesting, to say the least. Let me know in the comment section below how you think this main event will play out. Make sure you check out Slappy's, the best vodka soda in town. And make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. I can't wait for October 10th.